State Police have released their crime report for 2023, and it highlights the year-over-year trends for the Commonwealth. And while it makes a small percentage of total offenses, human trafficking saw the biggest increase by percentage out of all the serious crimes. Well, WKYT's Jeremy Toms talked with the Lexington Outreach Organization about that trend.
The latest Crime in Kentucky report from KSP shows a nearly 40% jump in human trafficking crimes from 2022 to 2023.
And I think it's probably we are doing a better job of tracking and identifying. But then also, too, I think the numbers are higher.
Natalie's Sisters works to support women who have been trafficked or sexually exploited through outreach at adult clubs and on the streets. Executive Director Janie Lewis says the upward trend is reflected in their drop-in center in Lexington's East End.
Last year, I think we saw 400 women at the drop-in center. This year, we've seen almost 400 women to date in the first 6 months.
Lewis says that while human trafficking is often portrayed as a random violent encounter out on the roads or in public somewhere, that is rarely what the crime actually looks like here in Kentucky.
There's Romeo trafficking, where a boyfriend makes a connection with somebody and, says all the right things. There's parents, there's familial trafficking. It's not what we think. It's not what it looks like in the movies.
She says what they're seeing ever since the pandemic is more people coming in from outside of the state.
People who are ending up here with a failed relationship or, whatever economic issues are bringing them here.
So while these increases are cause for concern, it leaves her knowing that they're fulfilling an important need.
We want to see the numbers come down, but we're also grateful to be there for when, the new ladies need to come.
In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
And Lewis says since COVID, they have served around 1,500 different women at Natalie's Sisters.